I watched RWBY up to the 5th season, and as a whole I enjoyed it more than I initially expected. The colors are ugly, but knowing it began as a minor production by anime fans for anime fans, I see it as a passion project and I cannot hate the low quality polygons. It's not a complete travesty like Chronexia and the 8 Seals, there is effort placed in its creation and it's fine for what it is. The problem is, it's no longer what it used to be. The first 2 seasons were short episodes of almost non-stop action with no real interest in telling a good story. But then the original creator died during the production of the 3rd season, and they changed the direction of the show completely. Budget went up and the character models improved thanks to the unexpected popularity it got, but other than that it has nothing in common with what you were watching up until then. It mutated from a mindless action flick full of airheads into basically a soap opera full of drama and misery. The episodes were also lengthened into almost 20 minutes each, which meant a lot less fighting and a lot more sobbing. There is also an emphasis on world building and lore now, which certainly flesh out the setting, but the concepts are poorly established to the point they come off as silly rather than engaging. How can I give a damn about the socio-political drama with the animal people who have radicals aiming to avenge the world, when characters can teleport anywhere they want or heal in an instant? You can't create a compelling plot with superpowers that make everything seem easy. Same goes with the lore of the 4 maidens. How can I give a damn about the importance of magic when everyone is as strong as the plot wants him to be? It should have never tried to be more than a mindless action flick. If you plan to make things more serious, you must have a proper build-up, not a lazily written social message about the power of the government that tries to make things seem mature with shock factor and random power-ups. In order to make this clear, let's summarize what every season is about. The first season is a short entry exam where everybody switches from strangers, who don't know or like each other much, to best buddies after fighting a few generic monsters. The second season is mostly about them opening up to each other and revealing sad parts of their past and what they aim to do in the future. It happens in a very sappy way, like you are watching a teenage soap opera, and is pretty jarring at times. Luckily, the episodes are still short and full of action, so there is not much downtime to let you cringe. The third season is when the real problems appear. They throw in the lore of the maidens, which as I said was very poorly established, and had an edgy plot twist that involved mind control and the death of a robot chick. It came out of left field, it didn't have any seriousness because it was brainwashing, and the robot can be remade so there's nothing sad about it. The fourth season splits the group and they spend a lot of time in recovering from the battle. It was boring as hell, since whatever charm they had as characters was through their interactions, not spending weeks alone in contemplation of their past mistakes. It's dull and eventually meaningless. And finally, the fifth season brings them slowly together once again, while desperately trying to fill the dead time with a pitiful radical group of animal people taking up arms. It's not like there is much going on either, as every episode is almost entirely about them sitting on a table and talking about how sad they feel. I could barely keep my eyes open. There was a time when I used to somewhat like RWBY. That time is now gone, because it was fun as a mindless action flick, and now it's misery porn. Not to mention how horrible its fandom has become. Holy crap, why does popularity always mean cringe fest in modern times? I hate you, modern, you ruined everything. So I watched the 6th season of RWBY for a quick update. It's better than before because the good guys finally got back together and moved towards a specific goal as a team instead of being split in 4 and moping around. It's also nice how we finally got some answers, such as who is the main villain and what are the 4 maidens about. Besides that, it's still shit. The thing everyone liked it at first, that is the cute sexy rule of cool fighting, it's just not there anymore. One moment they are fighting huge monsters with acrobatics and are not afraid, the next moment they are running away scared from a bunch of slow-moving zombies as if they have no superpowers all of a sudden. The plot makes them as strong as they need to be at that specific scene. They also had a final showdown with the leader of the rebellious animal people, but there was no gravity behind that conflict, since the animal people are not really oppressed. They are having a jolly good time in their island, and the only ones who ruin all the fun are the rebels. And even then, the resolution to the final battle of the season was cheap, since all they did was using the Silver Eyes, another convenient power-up that triggers whenever it suits the plot for a quick victory. The thing that triggered me the most was the introduction of a lesbian couple with a child, which is obviously not theirs and is going to have a crappy behavior when it grows up for lacking a father figure. Isn't it strange how there is no controversy about that? The feminists lost their minds when they mentioned rape in Goblin Slayer and Shield Hero, but don't say a thing when a baby is going to grow up thinking homosexuality is normal and men are not needed? Fuck this libtard bullshit. I was watching RWBY for the fun fights and not for this agenda of how to destroy the minds of children. I'm dropping it because once again the SJWs ruined yet another show.
We have a same-sex couple, and I'm, kind of, happy about that, because, I'm just excited to see, once again, that Rooster Teeth, they are very open about this. It does please me, and, I'm glad, something like that was done in, RWBY.
Is there anything he doesn't like?